Molly. What are we Molly?
Yes. All right. Hi, everyone. We're Team Compass, and I'm the team lead. I'm Mayu. That's Claire, Jungsu, Eric, Kate, and Maheen. So we want to help high school students navigate the path to success in and beyond college through an online mentorship platform. So we are a national project, so that means we have a national sponsor, which is Sodexo. So they came to us with a broad how can we statement of how can we improve preparedness and resilience in students to improve student outcomes. So this has been the how can we statement that's been guiding us through the semester. And in terms of Sodexo, the company, they provide a lot of services to different companies in different industries. But their mission statement is, by improving the quality of life of those we serve, we improve the performance of people in organizations. And where we come in is their development of Healthy Campus 2020. So they want to provide services that support balance, mental health, and well-being through human-centric approach to wellness interventions.
All right. So to expand on what Sodexo is interested in, so college graduates, some of the research that we found some very interesting things. So college graduates have a life expectancy of 7 years longer than those who hold a high school diploma or less. We also found that college graduates, on average, earn 56% more than high school graduates in 2015, which is the largest gap reported in the past 50 years, at least in the United States. And the most significant finding that I think we had initially was that though the case for college is growing stronger, the reality remains that college is not within reach for all Americans, especially low-income and minority populations. So we used this to inform our user base, which ended up narrowing down to Houston high school students who want to go to college, but they're facing some opportunity gap that's preventing them from going there. So some of our SWOT stats specifically about this user base, so 80% of HISD high school students are classified as economically disadvantaged. Only 15% of HISD ninth graders will end up with a college degree, and only 10% of low-income first-generation college students graduate in 4 years. So our user persona based off of this is Emily. So she's a high school senior in Houston. She's second generation, so her parents immigrated to the U.S., but she was born here. She'd be the first in her family to attend college, and she's from a low-income household, so she's really focused on finding a way to pay for college. So her motivation is as follows. My mom came here so my sisters and I could become something bigger than herself. She sacrificed so much, and I don't want all her efforts to help us to be left in vain. So we tried to find a community partner that the population that they serve reflected this user persona.
Yeah. So our community partner is Breakthrough Houston. They serve the students that we talked about, Emily's situation, and they start. So they apply in 6th grade. They get in. They start the summer after 6th grade. So they come back every summer during their middle school years, and they have an intensive summer camp that's free, and they get meals for free as well. And they work on soft skills as well as academic skills, and they also have monthly meetings during the school year to make sure they keep working on those skills. And then in high school, they go through the College Bound program. So they also meet once a month, but they're more focused on workshops that help them get prepared to get to college, so financial aid and college essay writing. And then 100% of their students get accepted to college, which means that they're doing a really great job of helping these students, but not necessarily meaning that they get into the college that they feel is the perfect fit for them. So quick breakthrough student demographics. The big numbers are 93% of them qualify for reduced lunch, 99% identify as ethnic or racial minority, and then 61% will be the first in their family to go to college. So they're really targeting the user base that we want to help. And after talking to Breakthrough, we found some of their pain points. The first one being Breakthrough students have a hard time finding a good fit college. So like I said, just because you're accepted doesn't mean you're going to the college that you really want to go to in terms of good financial fit to make sure that they're really supported in that way, but also because 99% identify as like ethnic or racial minority, they want to make sure that their identities, perceived positively, and that relationship is a good one for them when they go to college. And then the second one is that Breakthrough alumni often don't remain in contact, so there's no system in place right now to keep in touch with them, and like the emails that they have on file are from high school, so they switch to college on and just like don't look at it, so they just lose touch with them. So we wanted to kill two birds with one stone. We wanted to have Breakthrough alumni connect with and serve as a resource for current Breakthrough students.
And so from this idea of killing two birds with one stone, we came up with the how can we statement of how can we effectively engage current Breakthrough students to connect with Breakthrough alum to ensure that students receive resources and guidance to prepare for college. And so from this, we found some key insights that guided us in our creation of our prototype. And the first is that students with mentors are 55% more likely to go to college. Mentees that pick their own mentors have more successful outcomes, and that connections are easier to make between mentors and mentees of similar background. And so whenever we began to think more about our prototype, we came up with a few design goals. So the first is ease of maintenance. So we wanted whatever we came up with to be easy to set up and maintain. We wanted it to be engaging for both the students and the alumni. We wanted it to be interactive and provide an easy way for communication and interaction between students and alums, and we wanted it to be scalable to Breakthrough chapters and to other organizations.
So, like Maya mentioned, our prototype is an online platform that connects the students to the alumni. And how does it work? With the Breakthrough alumni receiving a survey that they fill out with a bunch of questions on it, and then the admin getting these responses, uploading them onto a web page that Breakthrough students have access to. And they can look through all these profiles and then pick certain ones that they feel comfortable, reach out to them. And ultimately, our overall vision is for this platform to be the starting point for mentorship, for like mentorship relationships to start and then go from there. So this is what our first iteration of our mentor survey would look like, and some of the questions that were on this first iteration. We have like, what is your anthem, so like a song that represents you, and ask me about section where you can check off boxes for topics that you feel comfortable mentoring someone about. And then just like general questions about transitioning to college, such as like what are some challenges you had to overcome when transitioning. And then we also put a question in there about what impact did Breakthrough have on you to kind of, I guess, give the mentor and mentees some common ground to talk about since they're both Breakthrough. So after the mentor fills out the survey, this is what the ideal mentor profile would look like with the picture and the answers to the questions that they answered in the survey. And this is what the website would look like when you're just scrolling through and looking at a bunch of different profiles, and then you can pick one and go more in depth.
So with the prototype, we went to Breakthrough's monthly meeting and got interviews from 15 Breakthrough high school students. Very exciting. 100% said they would reach out to the mentors from the lookbook, and 87% said they themselves would like to become a mentor and be put on the lookbook in the future once they graduate from the program. And 60% said they feel like they developed a personal connection by reading the profiles. We got a lot of feedbacks on how to improve our prototype to make those mentors sound more human. And also they really wanted to address and ask those mentors how to merge academic and career interests. So we really wanted to include that for the developed improved prototype. And they also wanted to learn about diversity and how to navigate identifying as a minority on campus. This is a quote from one of the seniors we interviewed. Naomi said, "I'll be willing to reach out, especially to those who are going to schools I want to go to, so I can ask some of the questions I can't ask the admission office." So with those tasks, we came up with the improved prototype. Like I mentioned, we added some of the questions that make those mentors sound more human, and clarified questions and added word limits so that the answers have enough substance. And these are some of the changes we made.
So with our improved prototype, we sent out our new survey to actual Breakthrough alumni. So, and then we had them send their responses back to us. So meet Kyle. He is a Breakthrough Houston alumnus, current freshman in a college in Pennsylvania. And then when asked why be a mentor, he said, "I've always had mentors in my life, and it truly helped me see that I have options." So these answers to the questions are making the mentors more relatable to the mentees. When asked about what do you want your mentee to know about you, he says that he wants them to know that he comes from a low-income household and he's going to a college far away from home. So he hopes to tell the mentee about that more. So college extracurriculars, because he's a minority, he's in the Latino Cultural Association group, and then this ties in with the challenges that he overcame. So challenges include moving in right after Harvey, missing orientation, being one of the only Hispanics on campus. So we want to use this profile to help make the mentor be more relatable to the mentees so that the mentee feels comfortable reaching out to them. So we believe that our prototype meets our design goals. We believe that it's easy to maintain, so we're developing a guide for the Breakthrough administration to use. We believe it's engaging. It engages the students and the alumni with each other. We believe that it's interactive, so students can contact the alumni and use that lookbook as a starting point for the mentorship. And we believe that it's scalable. So because it's a website, it can be used by a lot of Breakthrough chapters and different organizations. So our measures of success, in the short term, we hope that 90% of current high school students will find the mentorship useful for working towards college. In the midterm, we want the alumni network system to be fully in place within 2 years, and we want Breakthrough to stay connected with 90% of the outgoing high school seniors as a mentor after graduation. And in the long term, within 5 years, we want 50% of all Breakthrough chapters to implement our solution so that we can expand the Breakthrough network a lot more. In terms of implementation, so we're going to suggest to Breakthrough that they start engaging current seniors now and help them fill out their profile before graduating, because we find it hard to contact the people who are already alumni. So by engaging the current seniors now, we can make sure that they stay connected to Breakthrough after graduation. And some steps to implement, we want to map out the overall flow of maintenance and hand over the guide, and we want to determine how to make the site easily accessible for the students. So our next step, we will be flying to Maryland in a couple of weeks to present our prototype and our ideas to Sodexo, and we're super excited. So with that, I'd like to open the floor to questions. And thank you guys.
So we all have to sit there. So very exciting. Great job. So can you guys explain a little bit about what Sodexo does and how they can potentially take ideas from this prototype into their company? Yeah, so that's what I was kind of trying to explain with how Sodexo is working on Health Campus 2020. So with that, there would be a big package of things to offer to their clients. So a lot of their clients are universities or different programs. So then hopefully if they like it, then they would put our solution as a service into that package of how to help universities create a healthy campus that's focused on balance and also looking at mental health and really talking about resilience, how do you stay in college and have a good, healthy, successful career in college. Yeah. How many questions? 2?
Did any of the students talk about just the impact of seeing and reading these profiles, what that had on them?
Yeah, they all really liked it. Yeah, it was really cool because they also didn't really have any contact with the alumni, so they didn't really know what they looked like. And one of them said it's really cool to just go to one place and see all their pictures and stories. To add about testing. There's just so much because they were really into it. And they also mentioned, we wanted to ask them if they thought it was intimidating to reach out to them, and they're like, no, we love Breakthrough, and Breakthrough feels like a family, because they've been involved for 6 years, and they're since we know they're Breakthrough, it's not very intimidating. So
Thank you all.